Hey, welcome back to another episode of It's a Football Thing. As always, I'm your co-host, RJ the Balanced Blue, joined by my fellow co-host and champion mate, Scott Daguna, Rob the Red Devil, and we are presenting this week's Wednesday special. And tonight's topic, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wherever you're tuning in from, of course, which players could improve our squad? Specifically, which two current Premier League players do you think could propel your squad to the top echelon and become the Premier League title holders this season? Very straightforward. But boys, let's not waste too much time and get straight into this. Robbie, I'm not sure if you want to go first, but if not, I'm happy to kick things off. Up to you, my man, while Scott thinks about this one.
No, happy to go first. Look, for me, it's going to be, we said realistic, and I think, it's from T1 journalists have already said that we're showing big interest next year for Harry Kane. I think this is very realistic. There's not a lot of strikers out there. It's not rocket science to know that we are definitely looking for a proper number 9 that's going to score goals. We've been really reliant on Rashford, and a lot of people will say, including me, he's best off the left. He's not a number 9 or traditional number 9. I think. Look, we've all seen for years and years. Look, up until last year, Harry Kane wanted to get out of Spurs. He wants to win trophies. That's not to say it's definite that he's going to win if it comes to us, but he's not winning at Spurs. That's the facts are there to see that. He wanted to go to City last year. He put himself out there on the market. It fell through. And Ten Hag has already said he's right up there on the list of someone he wants to go. He's Premier League proven. I think it's been 8 seasons now. He's scored 20 plus goals. He's England captain. I think the stars just align that I think will go really between him and Oshahim. I really think they'll be the two that we'll go for our marquee signing in the window. But I really do think we might lean towards him. I know age compared to Oshahim is not on his side, but 30 is not 36 either. I do think he's got quite a lot of years at the top to go. And even if he's got 3 or 4 years, I really think if he can stay injury free. I think that, if we bought someone like him, I think next season people would have us right up there as title contenders, title favourites even. If I'm going to throw another one in there, I know you said Premier League players, but I'm going to go a bit broader.
Think abroad.
I'm going to go a little bit broader, and I really do think we will, not to say it's going to happen, but I think there'll be another chase for Frankie de Jong again. We all know how much Ten Hag rates him. He's had a history with him at Ajax. We went for him for 6 months. It felt like this year it didn't work. I still think there's some dodgy stuff happening at Barcelona. They've just been done for some corruption lately, paying refs off. I think they used every lever possible last season in the window. Something's got to give, and I just think that, I think whatever we can give to sweeten the deal as best we can, I do think we'll go in for him. And we really need someone like that, another really good, nearly world-class midfielder, someone that can come in deep, take the ball off the back four. We've seen how much of an impact Casemiro's plays, but if he's not there, yes, they're two different players, but just someone with the composure. He can play quarterback. He's got a really, calm head. Another really good midfielder we need because, at the moment Eriksen's out, but I think once he's back to fitness, he's good. We've got Bruno, we've got Casemiro, but I still think we need someone of really high quality like a Frankie de Jong with someone quite young too, because Casemiro's only got X amount of years left in him as well. Someone like that to fit the bill to come in. So for me, a striker and a midfielder to make us title.
Rob, can I ask you a question on that?
Yep.
Because I don't think Frankie de Jong moves anywhere to start on the bench. I don't think he moves clubs right now to be a bench player. Who would you drop for him? And would you drop anyone for him? Or would he just be signed for the bench next season?
He definitely would not be signed for the bench. If we were to sign him, like I said, we'd go all out. He'd definitely... and he's not going to come from. Yes, I do think I love Eriksen, but Eriksen is a great. Again, he's got he's had his injury problems this season, fitness issues. Obviously, what we've seen happen. He's been great for us, but again, age. You look at someone like that, you got a quality player. He's a perfect squad player to have on the bench. He's class as well. But Frankie de Jong comes in, and I could say a midfielder, Frankie de Jong, partner in Casemiro, and still I think Bruno keeps his position in the 10 as well.
Beautiful. All right, let's go to you, RJ. It's Harry Kane and De Jong for Manchester United. Hopefully, Robbie's not making De Jong decision. Let's see what your choice is.
Well,
RJ.
to be fair, I was just going to say Manchester United have waited a De Jong time to get success back. So he can help.
My question is, who else can you sign, Arj? You've signed half of Europe in January. Who else would you like to add to the spending spree, my man?
Yeah, well, that's the problem. When you have a forward-looking view, when you're not just buying the superstars of today, but looking far, far ahead in advance. And we added another one yesterday, which was quite good. Another youngster in Julian Richards. I'm not sure if you saw that, but again, this whole strategy of trying to buy the young gun of tomorrow and grow the academy even more brightly than it is, I think is going to benefit us long term. But the here and day, which two other players could add to our title prospects for next season, of course. Naturally, I think that we are in the market for a DM. So Enzo Fernandez is an all-round box-to-box midfielder who's done a fantastic job so far, and he's worth every cent of his transfer fee to date. I think he's best deployed in a more forward position despite his defensive contribution. So I think having a DM such as a Declan Rice, or depending on the strategy, Caicedo from Brighton, I think given the Premier League proven status he's had, I think he's someone that trying to keep it Premier League focused would be someone that I'd be happy with. Even Lavia from Southampton, I think he's another untapped gem that I think could do a great job in our setup. So from a DM perspective, I think they would be my contenders. But obviously, the striking department, that continues to be our thorn by our side, the curse number 9. And to be honest with you, I don't know if any striker comes in and solves our situation.
Eddie
It's just the
Nketiah.
curse. Definitely. He's the best
Lukaku
number 14
back.
Arsenal's ever had. Well, Lukaku back would be very interesting under Potter, but don't think that's going to happen. Let's assume it doesn't happen. Armando Broja, he's someone that the injury I think is going to take a long time to resurface. Aubameyang, I'm pretty safe to say he's on the out. And Kai Havertz, again, is someone that's like, Rob, you're saying the fluid front three. I think he's someone, or actually, Scott, you were saying for Gabriel Jesus. I think Havertz is best when he's not as an out-and-out striker. So I think we're in the market for a forward, a pure striker, and it's either Osimhen from Napoli if we're thinking outside the Premier League. But in the Premier League, boys, I've got to say I have not too much confidence in a realistic forward that we would bring in. I don't think Harry Kane would come to us, and I don't think we'd want him right now anyway because of the links or the club rivalries. So I think I'd probably look abroad for my striker, but look Premier League-wise for my DM, the boys that I mentioned. What do you think about those options?
Robbie?
Yeah, look, I'm shocked because I never thought of him at Chelsea. To be honest, I haven't seen links.
No, it's been courted for a little while. Yeah.
It's a fair shout. That's what I mean. I've never really looked at it, and we all know he's put it out there. I think in the last 2 weeks that his dream is to come to the Premier League. So look, I do think one of our clubs will be right up there for him again. But yeah, look, fair shout.
Arsenal too.
Yeah, well, you know what? Why not Arsenal as well? They're going to be there. If they win the title, they've got Champions League football for the first time in years. They're an attractive project at the moment. They are
London.
a project still. London, there's a lot between all three of us. But look, I think they're two fair shouts, man. Declan Rice. For me, I don't know. I just see Declan Rice going maybe the other red side of London, up in the top left-hand corner there. But I know that Chelsea has definitely been linked to him for quite a few years.
Well, the Mason Mount factor is quite important now.
Yeah, but
because his
Mason Mount
contract
might be in red next season, but Liverpool's red. So I don't know if Mason Mount would be selling
to
it.
say that, man. I know. It's a
Do you think Mason Mount
one.
now is saying, "Hey, man, come to Chelsea. What a great place to be at." When you look at, it's been a bit of a fall for grace from him, but that's a topic for another night.
Two good shouts. I'll just say for me, I don't think realistic, in my opinion, the Caicedo one, considering I think he just signed a new contract extension after the whole debacle. For me, I think it's just if they want to sell him, that's just to raise up his bar, all the money a lot. And for me, is he worth that much? I don't know.
Chelsea don't care. And look, they shouldn't have to care either. If you got the money, spend it. Get your man. For me, boys, at Arsenal, the two players I'm going to talk about, one of them is purely a depth option because I'm quite content. Obviously, we're top of the league, so I don't see any huge issues with our starting 11 at the moment. But I think someone like Ivan Toney, I would love on our bench. It's no secret. Anyone who's watched this channel knows that I'm not the biggest Eddie Nketiah fan.
You can bet on that.
Best number 14 Arsenal's had.
He has done better than I've expected in his last two big stints, but still not good enough. I want someone who's going to make Gabby Jesus sweat a little bit. I want someone who can offer us a plan B, and I think Ivan Toney has great physical qualities, has the right profile, has a good fighting mentality, where if we're not able to break them down playing intricate football, he's someone we could chuck in late in the game. We've got plenty of crosses and try and find Ivan Toney's head. So I think he would be a really realistic move for us. And the other one for me is Declan Rice, boys. Now, as I was kind of quizzing you a bit more, Robbie, and I said, well, would you sign Frankie de Jong to be a bench player? I'm kind of thinking the same now with Declan Rice, because at the moment, Granit Xhaka, Thomas Partey, who do you drop? They've almost been the most consistent midfield pairing in the league. But yeah, I would go with Granit Xhaka. I think at the moment, with his age, his mentality, I could see him being a player who plays a role in the squad still. I couldn't see him chucking his toys out the pram if he wasn't starting every game. And I think between him and Declan Rice, we would be even stronger. Declan Rice, obviously, there's been a lot of paper talk about Arsenal and him this year. I really did think he would end up at Chelsea because of that Mason Mount connection, but the Mason Mount situation is quite tumultuous at the moment. I would put money on him being a Liverpool player next season, but yeah, it's interesting. It's going to be really interesting.
I've got to say, what would be funny, what would be absolutely hilarious, is if he went to Arsenal and to see him and Jorginho in the same starting side. Just all the debate about Jorginho versus Declan Rice. Mate, it would be manic meltdown. It would be hilarious.
I think the concierge would combust.
He's been linked to us. I'm like, stay away, stay away, stay away. I've seen
you don't want Declan Rice.
No, Mason Mount. No, it's not a disrespect. As a player, I could not see it Manchester United. It's nothing to do.
Look.
You know, I've talked him up before. I just don't get it. For me, I just don't see a connection. I could not see him in our jersey. Nothing to do with it.
I think if Mason Mount goes to Liverpool, and RJ knows this, I've talked Mason Mount up over the years. I think he's a very good player. You don't just become not a good player overnight, especially at his age. I think if he goes to Liverpool, he will cook in that system. He will do a brilliant job.
Well, his natural energy and his tenacity, I could see him. He would absolutely smash at Liverpool. Absolutely, he would help transform that aging midfield a lot, and that's the scary part. Is it's a double blow for Chelsea because you're strengthening a direct rival. So I seriously hope not.
Liverpool fans, if you're watching this clip back or this section, you let us know. Would you be happy with Mason Mount joining your Reds, Liverpool? Mixed bag from the Chelsea fans. You hear different things about this, but look, if I was a Liverpool fan, I'd be very happy with the Mason Mount signing. I think they could really strengthen that centre of the park. But boys, it has been an absolute pleasure talking about two players that would strengthen our squads and make them title contenders or title favourites. If you're watching back, let us know which two players you'd take at your club. Do you agree with the boys? Do you disagree? And of course, show the channel some love. Live streams every Monday morning if you're in the UK, evening if you're in Australia. Hit that sub button, hit the notification bell, and of course, please drop a like and a comment. Boys, any closing words?
Again, enjoy that. That was your idea tonight, Borgie, so well done on your behalf. But very good discussion, boys, all around.
Well, I'll say, Scott, your striker that you've nominated, he's certainly worth a gamble.
You can bet on it. He couldn't, but we could. Take care, everyone.
Ciao.